Buffeted by nature, maximized by mankind, magnified by location. Climate change and its impacts are disproportionately affecting the African continent. Extreme climate events, intensified by global warming, are standing in the way of sustainable development in Africa, particularly among highly vulnerable low-income countries which have contributed least to greenhouse gas emissions. While these countries need to adapt rather than mitigate climate change, adaptation investments are on a short timeline. The longer they take, the greater the cost. These investments are estimated to cost $2.8 trillion over the 2020 to 2030 period. However, Africa's access to global climate finance remains drastically low at only 3%. Africa urgently needs greater access to international climate finance to support adaptation. To address this financing gap across low-income African countries, in December of 2022, the African Development Fund ADF created a Climate Action Window.
The Climate Action Window seeks to address that gap in financing in three ways. What I call AAA is access. We also want to increase the availability of climate finance. And lastly is affordability.
The Climate Action Window's resources will be allocated under three sub-windows: adaptation, mitigation, and technical assistance. The adaptation sub-window aims to enhance resilience to climate-related shocks and strengthen the adaptive capacity of ecological, social, or economic systems or policy processes in response and support to climate change impacts. The mitigation sub-window will support projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions or enhance the sinks that capture them, with the goal of promoting approaches that support net zero emissions. The technical assistance sub-window will assist countries to develop national climate policies and strategies, enhance the environment for climate investments, and prepare the way for investment-ready projects. The mitigation and adaptation investment sub-windows will support projects in 6 key sectors: agriculture, water security, climate information systems, transport, energy access, and green finance to achieve carbon-neutral and climate-resilient transformations.
For the Climate Action Window of the African Development Fund is critical. The reason why this is critical is the issue of impact. What will it do for us? If we get that, we have 20 million farmers that will have access to climate smart agricultural technologies. We've got 20 million farmers that will have access to weather index insurance to deal with some of these exogenous extreme weather patterns that we're talking about. We'll have at least 1 million hectares of land that is degraded that we will be able to regenerate. About 9.8 million people that will have access to electricity, and over 840 million meter cubes of water that we'll be able to deliver.
Growing Africa's adaptation to climate change also has global benefits. This is exemplified by the Congo Basin, a critical line of defense in the fight against climate change due to its ability to sequester vast amounts of carbon and store it in long-term sinks. The Climate Action Window presents a giant step in setting the continent on a sustainable, climate-resilient development pathway. Let's walk that path together today.